week 6 of the Great British Sewing Bee, and it was Kids Week, and oh, did I feel the time limit on this week's challenge. I've taken on the Made to Measure, but let's start by discussing this week's pattern challenge, the adaptive dungarees. Now, dungarees are such a great make, especially if you're a beginner, because each of the individual elements aren't too complicated. Now, the adaptive spin on it that they've done with the lovely specialist judge was great, although I did feel like they'd hammed up the complexity of some of the parts. Changing the straps to add some elastic in is lovely, but not that complicated, and they kept referring to how complicated that was. Now, the placket dramas I did understand. It is a really tricky thing to try and get your head around how it's meant to go, and totally understood how Kaz ended up where she was. And it felt like she ended up on the bottom on principle because it functioned. So it was just about the fact that she'd got the instructions wrong that landed her there. But I was at least pleased to see that they had the specialist machines for putting the snaps in, because on previous years they've just been given a hammer. And then we move into the transformation, maternity wear to play clothes, which is a lovely full circle moment. But what I do want to say is they'd given them some particularly jazzy maternity wear, because most of my maternity wear was incredibly dull and boring, and it was really hard to find anything remotely with a print. The thing that got me the most about this challenge was, though, a couple of very lovely pieces had been produced, but it felt like maybe somebody had poured some rum in the tea they had during their break between challenges, because they all seemed positively loopy. Or was it just me that saw that? I feel like I'd like to submit Kit's entry for the transformation as case in point. Now, as I'm doing a quick little fit check on my model, we shall discuss this week's Made to Measure, the fancy dress costume inspired by what you wanted to be when you were younger for a 9-year-old. Now, I don't have a 9-year-old, I have a 6-year-old who's modelling mine. Now, neither me or my mum could remember what I wanted to be growing up, but an artist felt the closest to how I'd been as a child, so that's what we're going with today. Now, even for kids wear, where the seams are shorter, 3.5 hours felt tight. I made a tactical choice with the outfit I was going with. So I started with the t-shirt, threw that out very quickly, immediately got onto the dungarees, and then decided that however many of the accessory pieces I could get through, great, but if I couldn't do them all, that would be fine. Now, this handbag that I'm making, I literally threw together in the last 25 minutes, and I made an error on it and have never felt stressed quite like it. So I really felt like I got an idea as to how they all feel with this time limit, and that felt like it explained why there was quite so much janky sewing from a lot of them on this challenge. Although I still don't understand why Kaz used mock smocking instead of real smocking. But as my fabulous model is demonstrating my outfit is complete, I was really pleased to be able to get all the pieces complete in the time limit, because it's really hard, having not practiced it, to really know what could be done. But you tell me, how do you think I did? And tricky choice on who went home this week, no?